Good morning, YouTube. You are on the lifeboat. This is Captain Calhoun speaking. Yes, I'm wearing the same hat because it makes me feel safe. I tell you what, that fish was anything but safe. Some scary stuff. Good morning, Rona Cooley, Caradish, Cindy G, Diana Reese, Jerry Fowler. What's going on, folks? It's good to see you guys on this fine Sunday morning where I feel completely wrong. Robin Miners, what's going on? JCC, hey brother, good to see you. Jason P, Trust But Document, good morning. Good morning to you. Yeah, guys, Cosmic Christie, hello there. I'm just not quite right today. I was trying to use my brain this morning and apply myself and be an intelligent, productive human, and none of that worked. So we're just gonna kind of hang out and talk about what happened yesterday because I will definitely never be the same, and I don't think that I'm ever going to convince myself that this is going to be a fun thing to eat surströmming again. That was definitely not a fun thing, um, and there's something different about me today, and I can't quite put my finger on it, but something's wrong. Something's really wrong. Katrina Schaff, what's going on? Myers girl. It was some good entertainment. Well, I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. I was actually watching it this morning, and it is quite entertaining to watch. In fact, the memory of the smell brought tears to my eyes again this morning. It's a pretty pungent, quite a pungent thing. Laura Rodney, good evening. Good to see you. Hello, hello. I talked a lot of smack, James. That's for sure. I definitely thought that I had it. I definitely thought I had it in the bag. I've eaten some foul stuff, I've definitely I did not think I would be defeated by a mere fish. But I was. It's okay. Lisa Faircloth, electrolytes off. I don't know. I wonder. I There is a little bit of digestive discomfort, Rona. And I didn't swallow it. I tried to. I really did. My burps keep smelling like it. Um, and my stomach is upset a little bit. But it's not it's a unique sort of upset. It doesn't feel like I'm gonna puke, or like it doesn't feel like like it usually feels when I've got like a tummy ache. It kind of just feels wrong in there. That's really all. It just feels a little wrong. I'm sure it'll feel right eventually. I'm sure it'll get back to normal. How's your stomach? Asks Jane. It's not doing great. It's not doing great, but I do have some coffee this morning to try and wake me up, get me back in a productive mode, because things need to get done. We've got things that need to get done, like laundry, things that have nothing to do with fish and decomposition. The burp in the car we weren't live for that. Did he just tell a story about it? Oh, oh man. It was a decent burp for sure. I tried to blow it out the window, and I guess that doesn't help at all. Because he could smell it. I could smell it. It was definitely in the car with us. That definitely is some interesting stuff. I have a freeze frame of Johnny. Check this out. Oop, I hit the wrong button. Happy Sunday to everybody, by the way. Today's a perfect day to put your feet up, do some laundry, maybe clean the kitchen a little bit, something to lighten your environment up, something to make you feel good. That's what I'll be doing today. Look at that face. He's a looker, that Johnny Scoville. Oh, the Zoom function doesn't work. That's kind of unfortunate. We've known this before, though. We know this. I think there are some good freeze frames out of this whole thing. Giving my dad a little back pat. Or wait, no, I'm holding the some classy stuff. Some classy stuff for sure. Everybody everybody should do this, Nothing says Merry Christmas like eating decomposing fish with your family. In fact, maybe we should serve it to the family. Maybe we should have like a surstroming dinner. We could like set the table all proper, invite extended family, and like we'll have like 9, 10, 11, 15 places to sit at the table, and we'll just bring out very, very beautiful looking surstroming dishes, white plate, the whole nine. We'll have like silverware wrapped in cloth napkins, you know? It'll be sweet. What do you think? You think the family will dig it? Cosmic Christie says, I'm going to be doing a live, so I like doing them when people are distracted. Ooh. Well, I'd like to come check it out if that wouldn't make you too nervous, Christy. I'd love to see what you got going on over there. Total trauma bonding. Usually trauma bonding is not necessarily a good thing, right? It's like something we have to like recover from or come back to the real world from, right? But I think this is, some trauma bonding that no one's gonna necessarily have to come back to the real world from. We all know that the fish is gross, and we all ate it, and I think everything's still fine, right? Usually, trauma bonding's like, my parents did heroin together for 11 years, and then they got sober and realized they don't love each other anymore, or they never did, or they can't be with each other. Whatever the case is, that's what trauma bonding normally refers to. But in this case, I think everything's fine. I think this was a good trauma bonding. I mean, although the fish wasn't very good. I've been noticing something's different about my microphone, completely unrelated to the fish. So if you're having a hard time hearing me, if I'm cutting out, please let me know so I can adjust something. Last night I was trying to chat Jake up, and I was noticing that my microphone wasn't doing what it normally does. Miss Sunrise Dawn, Yadira, what's going on, guys? Welcome in, Sunset, Salty Sage. Heck yeah, good morning. Good morning. Yeah, I'm going to be brushing my teeth quite a few times today. I've already flossed up a storm um, and done the full body shower, like the full bathing, right? And the smell still lingers. When I burp, it comes out. Using the bathroom kind of smells like it too. It's pretty great. Things are awesome over here. You all should be very jealous of the quality of life that I'm experiencing after eating the fish. Because I have to tell you, there's not really quite anything like it in the world. So if you've never experienced this, I would go ahead, go to the store, get you some surstroming right now, and change your life forever. Cleansing detox, it says Sunset Salty Sage with a question mark. I think that's actually more in line with reality. I think that's definitely more in line with what I'm going to be doing today. Maybe I'll hit the hot tub, right? Eat some supremely healthy things, right? Some wheatgrass shots. I don't know. We'll have to improvise, but we'll do some yoga. We'll hang out. I'm definitely going to be focusing on some self care, some super duper legit self care today. Yeah, we ate the surstroming again, Matrix. When I say again, it was my first time, but not the best. Not the tastiest thing I've ever had. I tell you what, Squirrel Girl, hello, hello. Don't forget to brush the tongue all the way back. You know what I mean? All the way back where those bad breath germs hang out. We're gonna crush them. We're gonna crush them. I've actually fashioned a toothbrush that's more like a war hammer. I'm just gonna go in there and just take battle to these fish germs on my tongue. Make war, you know? Let people know about the live on the boat. Sweet deal, Cosmic. I look forward to it. Been having a rough go of it this morning, says Andrew B. This weekend, trying hard. Well, I tell you what, you're not the only one, man. I'm glad you're here. Struggles seem to be a part of the regularly scheduled programming sometimes, don't they? I tell you what, though, um, these struggles are only temporary, whatever they are, whatever they may be. I'm sure that we can see the other side of them. And I mean, I guess that doesn't help the moment right now, right? But keep the chin up, man. I believe in you. And if you feel like sharing what's going on, I'd love to hear as well, but no pressure to do so. No pressure at all. ASAP Lizzie, what's going on? Swiss Vape, chase the heat. What's going on, guys? Welcome aboard. Feeling pretty good, says Uncle Johnny. It sticks with you mentally. I'm good though. I feel like it's inside of me. I feel like it's in my soul. I feel like less of a man today. Do you feel like that, Johnny? I could go for some city this week for sure. Some city walk. Get the city chicken and the city beef and the city shrimp. No, for real though, I definitely I could go downtown and run around a little bit. I've been waiting for a good concert to come through, and it doesn't seem like that's going to happen until April. But come to find out, I'm going to Salt Lake after Christmas, so I start to look at Salt Lake City venues for a good concert. There's nothing good while I'm going to be out there, but in April, I don't know if I told this story recently, but one of my favorite metal bands, Whitechapel. I went to go see them in concert way back when, and I had a little bit too much to drink, and I was a little bit drunk in the mosh pit, and I got knocked out. I like woke up, like all of a sudden, I was like face down on the floor, and my eyebrow ring wasn't in my head anymore; it was somewhere, and I didn't want to be at the mosh pit anymore. I stood up and I left, and it was like two songs into their set. So I went to see my favorite band's concert. Didn't even get to see it. They're coming to town April 13th here in Tucson, which surprises me. I would think they would go to Phoenix, but they're coming to Tucson. So I'm going to get a second chance to not screw up my favorite band in concert. When I say my favorite band, my favorite metal band, it's hard to say that like this band is my favorite because there's so much a wide variety of music, right? Metal is so like unique and specific, right? I don't think that I can say that Whitechapel is my favorite band. My favorite metal band, maybe, right? But I'm really excited to get a second chance at that. I wasn't sure. All of these days, all of my favorite metal bands are kind of falling off. They're not touring anymore. They're breaking up. They're getting old, you know. And Whitechapel was one of the first bands I started listening to when I was listening to metal, and you know, they have quite a run. They're still putting out new music. It's not exactly the same, right? They're evolving. They definitely, out of all the bands, metal bands that I listen to, they definitely seem to have longevity, right? They definitely seem to know what it takes to continue doing what they love and not get stale, right? That being said, eventually they're going to stop touring, right? Unless they're Led Zeppelin. So I thought I might run out of time, but it seems that there's hope still. Falling in Reverse is pretty cool. I really, really, really like Escape the Fate when Ronnie was still in the band. In fact, I haven't listened to a ton of Falling in Reverse because I like the OG Escape the Fate so much. Maybe I should go check out some Falling in Reverse because Ronnie's what made Escape the Fate for me, honestly. And I mean, I guess that's not necessarily the case. They were a good band. When Ronnie was a part of it, I think the whole thing was pretty sweet deal. Anima definitely makes me feel happy by the end of the album as well. Although it will take you on quite the roller coaster of thoughts, perceptions, concepts. Tool's one of those bands that'll just kind of take you there. Just scrolling up, I feel like I'm getting this feeling that I missed something. My spidey senses are tingling. Flick Fox says, "Did the smell linger so bad you had to shave?" No, I shaved in preparation. I forgot about that for this stuff to be on my face because I pictured myself like falling out of love with my mustache because it smelled like surstroming. So think having that thought, I shaved it beforehand. It's not often you get to see my face, huh? Not a bad looking face. I definitely miss the stash. It'll give it like a week or two. We'll have a stash again. No big deal. I wasn't willing to risk falling out of love with my mustache by letting it smell like surstroming. Meant lots of cravings from the thing I'm always trying to stay away from. Well, this happens. This is part of the journey sometimes. Usually trying to stay away from, can't lie to you, lol. But I do my best. And falling down also is not the end of the road, right? We definitely do our best, and that's all we can do. I think recently, especially, I've been talking about that concept a lot, right? We only can do our best, and every day's best is unique, right? Yesterday is different from today, is different from tomorrow's best or whatever, right? So I've been thinking a lot recently about this, especially because I've been talking about it a lot recently. And my how I interact and view this idea and concept has been kind of changing a little bit recently. Not that I'm not saying it's not true or anything. What I'm trying to say is that I feel like it's easier for me to kind of just accept things that the way that they are, at like face value, or it's just easier for me to accept a lot of this stuff recently. And maybe that's because my brain is healing. Maybe that's because I'm like just in a better mood. I don't know exactly what the deal is, but usually sometimes it's difficult to accept that my best wasn't good enough, right? Or that I'm struggling, and sometimes it's just hard to struggle, right? Lately I've been feeling more ease with getting through my struggles, more ease with accepting whatever is, right? Whether it's positive or negative, it is, right? Whether I'm stumbling, falling, getting up, being productive, failing, whatever the case, I have been, this is a better way to say it, rolling with the punches better. I've been finding it easier to roll with the punches, which is a gift. Like, that is such a gift. I don't know where it came from, but it makes all the mental gymnastics a ton easier. Because really, that's the hardest part, I feel like, for me. It's wrapping my brain around what needs to happen, where I stand, right, and how I'm gonna stay in a good place, right? Stay sober, stay in recovery, stay on the path that I'm on. Usually the hardest part about that is the mental gymnastics, right? Understanding exactly how we're going to go ahead and do that, understanding the emotions that I'm having inside of me, understanding, what this fish does to me, whatever the case is. And I definitely feel like recently I haven't had to bend over backwards to understand mentally. You know what I mean? I definitely feel like recently it's been a lot easier to understand stuff. So maybe that points out that, maybe we can all look forward to something like that. Maybe one day things will be a little bit easier to walk through. We can only hope, right? Because if it stays at the difficulty that it is now, I don't think longevity is in store for everyone. You know what I mean? There's got to be a way to make this easier over time, eh? The Arabian Bard. Look at this. Everyone's changing their. It must be the season for a new thumbnail, huh? Little. I was gonna say spring cleaning. It's not spring. Not Leota. What's going on? Two step forward, one step back is still a step forward. This is true. This is true. And who's to say that it's two steps backward, right, and one step forward? Who's counting these steps, right? Who's translating whatever's actually going on, the real action, to an amount of steps, right? I think that stumbling and falling is less of a step than succeeding. So I know that we definitely, as humans, have a lot easier time paying attention to failures than we do to successes. We definitely have a lot easier time remembering something that we don't like rather than something that we like, right? It's a lot easier to break trust than it is to gain trust. You know the deal, right? I think that if we can flip the script on that, at least for ourselves and how we view ourselves and our own sentiments, I think that that would be beneficial, right? I think that that would be beneficial. Swiss Vape says, I kind of got used to it. Sir Stroming. Here, it's not very popular, but getting lots of challenge requests lately because I'm known for doing dumb things. Interesting, Swiss. Well, I bet you could kick my butt in the Sir Stroming department. Thinking about it makes me physically sick right this second. My stomach is doing backflips. I had no idea that my body was going to react to that stuff entering my mouth. And then I just tried to like chew it up really fast and just kind of get it over with. Like, let's just chew it real quick and swallow it. That did not work. That made it worse. 3 years, 3 years. Swiss Vape says 3 years sober. Man, that is fantastic. That is fantastic. I'm really proud of you, Swiss. Kicking butt, taking names, dude. I'm right behind you. Right behind you. I'm like a year and like 2 months. A year and 2 months. Something like that. Reality. Good to see you. Welcome in. My stomach is not happy. Ruby's mommy. Hello, hello. TKK. Heck yeah, guys. It's good to see y'all. Good to see y'all. I wish I had a little bit more cognitive power today. Um, that fish took it right out of me. I definitely have been feeling very sharp lately, like I'm firing on all cylinders. I feel like I killed some brain cells yesterday by eating that fish. I feel a little bit stupider today, that's for sure. Um, and maybe I just need like to get back on the horse and do something today, and I'll feel better. But I feel like I feel like I've undone some of my progress by eating that fish. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? Because I'm not used to my brain not firing on all cylinders this early. I tell you what. Usually it's just fine. 12, 21, 12 will be 12 years. Oh my. Reality, that's a wild amount of time. You're doing great. Keep it up, right? Keep up the good work. I bet you are reaping benefits of a better life left and right. ASAP Lizzie says, I kind of have news. I've been gluten and dairy free for 3 weeks tomorrow, feeling so much better. Finding a diet that works for us rather than works us, you know what I mean, is a huge deal. And until you actually find it, you might not even realize the vast, ooh, the, that was gross. Um, the vast difference that can be had, right? I'm so glad to hear that, Lizzie. That's wonderful. I'm still working on figuring my diet out. I definitely have not found it yet. My body is working extra hard to break down the food that I put inside of it. So I know I haven't found what I'm looking for yet, but man, what a blessing, right? I'm really stoked for that. That salty licorice was not bad, man. I could definitely go for some of it. Although you kind of got to suck the salt off before you can enjoy it, and then it's kind of like a big soft tootsie roll. Very strange. Very, very strange. Um, I will say, isn't excessive amounts of salt bad for your like heart and your cholesterol or something? I'm not a doctor, but I think that if I were to enjoy that snack on a regular basis, it would probably not be good. I already eat quite a bit of salt, and that thing is far too salty for me. Far too salty. Good morning from Michigan. What's going on, Linda G? Good to see you. Let's show Spanx a big thank you and click the thumbs up. I appreciate that very much. Loving the look. I do, I don't shave very often, Linda, but I do enjoy the look of my clean shaven face. It does look good. I look far younger. I look like I'm 25, don't I? Look like I'm fresh drinking age. Like I just had my first drink the other day, don't I? 4 weeks no cigarettes. Holy crap, Matrix. That's crazy. Yo, you're way, way over the hump now. In fact, I would be willing to bet that cigarette smoke smells unfamiliar again. And when I say unfamiliar, I don't mean you won't recognize the scent of it. I mean that when we are not smokers and we smell someone smoking, it smells a certain way. But when we become a smoker, right, it's a regular habit now, that smell of smoke changes the way that it smells. Because when we're not a smoker, it smells gross, right? At least for me. I mean, I know I'm not the only one, but maybe, there's probably someone out there that has a different opinion. But when you're not a smoker, it doesn't smell good. When it's a regular habit and you're smoking all the time, it's kind of like a trigger. Like you smell it and you're like, ooh, I should have one. It's like, oh, that's nice. It completely changes how it smells depending on if you're used to it or not. I don't know if anyone else can relate with this or not, but At 4 weeks, no cigarettes, I definitely, when I smelled smoke, I was like, "Ugh," you know? Now I'm kind of used to it because there's a lot of smokers in this complex. So I do smell it frequently, right? So it's not like off putting anymore, but it doesn't make me want a cigarette anymore, which is pretty crazy. I never thought that I would see the day where the smell of cigarettes didn't trigger me to want one. The fish took it. The fish took my soul. Very presentable young gentleman I am now. That's super funny, dude. We wouldn't want to give him the wrong idea. I should have put some face paint on or something, you know? Gonna make supper. I hope you have a good evening, Swiss Vape. Thanks for stopping in, man. It's always a pleasure to see you and hear about your progress, dude. Let me, if you're gonna do one of those challenges, let me know, or I'll just check back on your channel and stuff. And I'd love to see you kick some major butt, or attempt so. Whatever the case is. It's always good to see you, dude. Much love. Smelt. Smelt it. Kim says, I smoked for 26 years, and when I quit and walked by smokers, I thought, oh my God, I smelt like that. 100%, right? We don't realize it. It's pretty crazy. It is quite there are a lot of things that you can get used to and like kind of change the effect it has on you. But I think that the change that happens when we become used to tobacco is wild. Because when we're not used to it, it's like offensive, right? It makes you choke a little bit. Um, but you get used to it, and all of a sudden, it's delicious. Maybe delicious is the stretch, right? Maybe that's a little too much. Yep, addiction transfer. Reality says I start smoking, last like 5 years. So freaking weird, isn't it? It's like addiction transfer. In order to break a habit, you kind of have to replace it with a new habit. So if we're trying to quit smoking, right? Or if we're trying to put an addiction down, a habit down, right? We have to replace it with something else. Something that I've had a great success with when it comes to tobacco has been like peppermint toothpicks or like tea tree toothpicks, a toothpick with a little bit of flavor, right? Because then I can solve the oral fixation when I want to have a cigarette. I'll put a toothpick in my mouth. I'll get like some flavor out of it. Maybe I can chew on it a little bit, move it around. I don't know. Just kind of have this toothpick in my mouth. And over a period of time, that definitely served to help a lot. Um, Having like something you can put in your mouth, like a sucker, the oral fixation part is very powerful. And then on top of that, I think the peppermint and or tea tree aspect, like the flavor of it, I think also helped a lot, kind of distract me. There are numerous methods for quitting cigarettes. That's just one that's helped me a ton. TKK, Anna, do you like surströmming? Is that something that you enjoy, or you just keep it on hand for family and stuff? Excessive salt exacerbates high blood pressure. This is the information that I need. Annika, good to see you all. I miss you guys. One more day of exhausting work till I can be here for the whole live. Well, heck yeah. I'm glad. I'm glad to know we'll be seeing you tomorrow. I hope you get through your day easily and efficiently, Annika. Thanks for stopping in. We love you. Kellyanne says your experience yesterday reminds me of this quote. Everyone has a talent. What is rare is the courage to follow the talent to the dark place where it leads. Interesting. I'm going to have to chew on that one a little bit. Chew on that a little bit. I really thought I was going to be able to swallow that stuff. Tell you what, definitely did not picture myself failing. Almaka says, you guys give me strength when I want to lose it on people. Well, I'm really glad you're not losing it on folks. I definitely have that thought a lot. I'm like, I should just lose my mind right now. I should just give these people a piece of my lost mind, And it rarely goes as magnificently as it does in my head, So then I have to deal with repercussions or, God forbid, a response from them. We don't want that. We have surstroming parties for times 4 times a year, honestly. Interesting. It's, something that you guys get down on. That's very, very interesting. I would be interested. I think, the Scoville boys, could go to a surstroming shindig. I think that we could definitely be caught on camera. I think we could be, we could definitely be at one of those things. I think we would do well at a surstroming party. What do you think, Uncle Johnny? You still in here? Would you go with me and my dad to a surstroming shindig? Like, a celebration involving mainly surstroming? Look at me. I'm like already making dastardly plans. I this morning I said never again, and then 30 minutes later I'm like, maybe we should all go to a surstroming party. I didn't know they had stuff like that, TK. That's honestly intriguing to me. I want to know more about a surstroming party. Doesn't everyone else want to know more? Gibson Murphy, what's going on? Good to see you, dude. Just watched a fun watercolor short. Watercolor trees for Christmas cards. Maybe I should acrylic some Christmas cards for my family. That's relatively cheap way to give a gift and show that you care, huh? Not a terrible idea. I'm glad I read that, Gibson. It's good to see you, man. I hope your day is going wonderfully. Better out than in, I always say. That wasn't no brimstone. My mouth was open and everything. Badger life. Hello, hello. Yeah, no baby oil. We're not into that kind of thing. That's pretty funny though. That is pretty funny. I bet you companies that sell baby oil are taking a hit in light of the Diddy stuff. I would bet money on it. I don't think that baby oil has ever looked so bad. You know? Never before have you heard the word baby oil and thought, I can't say that word, but you fill in the blank with the illicit word, right? With the word that we don't want to talk, that we don't want to speak. Never before has baby oil evoked such thoughts of barbarism and taking advantage, and just plain poor humanship. Yep. See what I did there? I made some words up, but you understand exactly what I mean. Spanx, it entails more than just surstroming. I would love to host you. I do an array of about 10 dishes. Interesting. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I feel like now I'm feeling more human, or that's the wrong way to say that. Now I'm feeling like I might come to this party and then offend you when I can't stomach the fish because who am I to believe that I can stomach the fish after just not being able to? You know what I mean? And I would like the last thing I want to do is offend you, Anna, because we love you. I would never want to do that. So now I'm having second thoughts. I am interested. It does sound very fun, but man, I'm imagining in my head just completely embarrassing myself and like being the only person there that's not enjoying themselves. And that sounds terrible. That's a terrible thought. Um, I just want to be vulnerable and like share what's on my mind, right, with you, I guess, because very intriguing stuff. Wouldn't be offended. That's why I offer the different dishes. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay, this has to happen now. It's pretty exciting, right? I'm gonna have to rope in El Papi and El Johnny to come with me. Johnson and Johnson is about to settle a huge baby powder talc suit. This baby oil. Well, let's see. I wouldn't doubt it, Gibson. I would not doubt it at all. I We're only beginning to understand and see like what the implications of the whole Diddy thing is and are. I don't think for a second that this isn't going to be a domino effect, right? The dominoes are already falling, except someone hit the slow mo button because they're not all falling right this second, I guess. But I mark my words, there will be a lot of aftermath. This is still like the pre party. This is still, and when I say pre party, we're not partying. I just mean that like what the Diddy thing, everything that's going on with that, this is still the intro segment. You know what I mean? We haven't had the intro credits even roll yet. Like this is the beginning. Um, I think that I think that there's going to be a lot of corporate stuff. I think there's going to be a lot of. I think this is going to reach the music industry, the entertainment industry. This is going to reach like so much stuff that's in this fabled catbird seat up here, right? The top of the entertainment industry. I think a lot of stuff's gonna change. I also feel like the people who have real power, right? We're not talking about Diddy, right? We're talking about the people that own UMG. We're talking about the people that own, you know what I'm talking about, right? The big companies, the people that have real power. I think that those people, I think we're going to see on full display them just kind of go, "Hmm," just a little bit of, "Hmm," you know, it's not even worth them looking. They're just gonna They're just gonna do a little brush aside, and everything below them is gonna fall into place. So it's gonna be interesting. Keeping my eyes on it for sure. I'm gonna try and figure out a way that I can get involved. Find something that I can report on that I'm excited about. That doesn't bum me out thoroughly, so that I can get a piece of this pie too. Because Diddy's not. I'm not really into that whole thing very much. I'm really, really into Tupac and Biggie and like that aspect of it, and the Suge Knights and the I really like the music part of it, the history part of it, the lore, right? I'm really not really into the whole creepy party stuff. But I'll find a spot. Maybe my spot's talking about Drake and Kendrick, because what an epic battle that's over, right? That's now turning into a wine fest, and I don't mean the drink. Um, Very interesting. I've been watching that story a lot. There's a ton of information out there, so I think in the near future I may just go ahead and cover that myself. But I will say I want a little bit more before I do so. My dad tells me when I talk to him about this, he was like, "You should just go out there and do it, so that you're the first person to say this, that, and the other." I said, "I don't think it matters if I'm the first, if I'm the best, you know." So I'm not in a hurry to do so, but I am going to talk about it once I get the information that I want and need. Um, Very interesting stuff. If you're not familiar, I'll touch it real quick. Kendrick Lamar and Drake are both rappers that are signed to record labels that are under Universal Music Group, um, which is their company, right? That pays for the stuff and the things. They had a rap battle with a bunch of songs, and definitive winner Kendrick, obviously, and then Drake turns around and sues Universal Music Group. And as far as I know, they're still in like the pre-litigation, or I don't. I'm not very intelligent when it comes to like law talk. It's like a whole different language. I have to talk to my dad to get like the particulars about stuff. But from what I understand, they're still like in the very preliminary part of filing. And what Drake has filed is alleging that Kendrick, pardon me, that UMG falsely inflated Kendrick's numbers from his song to make it seem more popular than it was. So basically, he's saying like the reason that it's on the radio and it's in the club and that it's everywhere, this song, not like us, is because UMG is paying radio stations and paying Spotify extra to play it extra and to put it in people's feeds extra, right? He's basically claiming, alleging that his label, his company, right, the company that's overseeing his company, um, is playing dirty. And regardless of if that's true or not, right, he's alleging if that's something that UMG does, I 100% bet that Drake has benefited from it. You know what I mean? I think that once the shoe's on the other foot, it's really hard for him to understand. I think that, and I might come out and say some mean things about Drake. I think that someone with an ego and a and a mind frame, a perspective such as his, is going to have a really, really hard time accepting defeat, right? Accepting not the number one spot. There's an interesting parallel between Tyler the Creator and DJ Khaled. DJ Khaled, his whole image is number one, right? We the best music, yada yada. Um, I can't remember what year this was, but there was a time not too long ago where both DJ Khaled and Tyler the Creator were up for a Grammy or something like that, and Tyler got it with his Igor album. So basically, Mr. Number One lost to a corny, like, nerd guy, you know what I mean? Which is more of the image that Tyler has, right? And I'm not taking anything away from Tyler. I think he's a genius. I think he's great. I like his music. It's not my favorite stuff, right? But basically the narrative is Mr. Number One lost to the class clown, right? And I think that it's a little bit different when it comes to Drake and Kendrick, but I don't think that Drake feels really good about losing, right? I don't think that he feels very good about being called a pedophile. I don't think that he feels very good about any of it. And I also think that everywhere that he goes, Not Like Us is playing out of a speaker, out of a car window, out of a coffee shop, out of a I think that everywhere he goes, that song is just following him around. And I think that he's losing his mind. That's what I think. That's my 2 cents on it. And I will do a whole show on this. We'll deep dive, but that's just a little teaser. That's the gist of it. That's what's going on at the moment. There's a ton more in detail, right? There's a ton more, but generally, that's the gist of it. And I mean, just from that's pretty intriguing stuff, right? Thought provoking, mildly entertaining. And also, I should say, I'm a fan of Drake. I'm a Drake fan. I'm also a Kendrick fan, right? It's really hard to be a Drake fan right now. You know, um, I definitely have been skipping his songs recently, having a hard time wrapping my brain around whether or not I can listen to his music anymore, which is rough. The irony, Gibson says, their branding has become literally a branding that feels the burn. 100%. 100%. You know, personally, if I was an artist and the idea had come up, why don't we make our brand be number one? Like that way, I probably would have said that's not a good idea because one day we're not going to be number one. I probably wouldn't have been down. I have to say the writing was on the wall with that one, but he had a good run. He was we the best for a while. He definitely. And I'm not saying that Khaled was the best for a while. I'm saying that when those songs played and you heard that sound, we the best. And like when you heard that stuff, it was kind of like an anthem. It was exciting. It was like, all right, we got another Khaled joint. That is not what it feels like anymore. Thank you guys for your support. You guys are the best. Gibson, Arabian Bard, much love, guys. I would do surstroming for a good cause. Well, I mean, I guess I can kind of say I did it for a good cause, right? A little family bonding. Is that a good enough cause though? It's not like I surstromed for charity or anything. Oh man, thinking about all kinds of stuff. But the fact that you would do it for a good cause, you know what that says about you, Arabian Bard? That says you're a good person. That says you got a big heart on you. It says you have it where it counts, and that means the world to me. Tom McDonald and Chris Webby are definitely awesome. They're super dope, super duper dope. I love hip hop and rap. I like a lot of different music. I tell you what, like I could listen to Beethoven and Bach. I could listen to Corpse Grinder. I could listen to trying to think of a folk band. I could listen to what was that band my mom used to like? The Indigo. What is it? Indigo Sisters? What the heck? I can't even remember what it's called. Indigo Girls. I could listen to Indigo Girls. I could listen to whatever. But I definitely enjoy some rap. Having a hard time ignoring the Corey Gamble and Chris Jenner of it all. Did he? Oop, I should probably read, not pour. I'm having a hard time understanding this statement. Give me just a minute. Corey Gamble, Chris Jenner of it all. I'm not as versed in the Diddy verse as my dad is. So, I'm not, I'm going to be honest, I'm not completely aware of what you're talking about here, reality. I definitely um, am not up to date with the Kardashians or Justin and Britney. Although I'm a pretty big Britney Spears fan while we're talking about it. I definitely dig some Britney Spears. I'm 32, reality. I'll be 33 February 21st. Thank you for helping me out with this. I was struggling there. It's one of my mom's favorite bands. I used to make fun of her so much when I was a kid, but it's good music. Whatever. Get over it, little Mike. Little Michael. Look at all the dead fish options we have now. You know what, Jeremy Fowler? I was thinking Swedish fish, delicious candy. Is it, in actuality, a joke about surströmming? The world may never know. But think about it. Swedish fish, it's a candy that's delicious. It's called Swedish fish. They're little fish. They're little fish fillets, little gummy fishes. Is that not a joke about surströmming, or am I crazy? Am I crazy? I feel like it's got to be a joke about surströmming because they're so good and surströmming's so not, dude. Holy crap. Is my dad Tommy? Yes, he is. I'm sorry I'm behind on that part. Yes, they are really involved with the Diddy stuff, and thank you. I'm sorry. Well, no big deal. Don't be sorry. You're totally fine. We all are moving at our own paces, and we all like come into lives and leave lives at different times, and maybe we're not even all at the live point, right? Maybe some of us are rewinding, so it's all good. I am here to facilitate. If you have any questions, please direct them this way, and I will be sure to do my best to answer them. I'm 45 and love the Indigo Girls. Well, I tell you what, you're in good company. Some of us here like the Bee Gees. Some of us here like Caddyshack 2. Uh, we are folk of many flavors. Folk of many flavors. I like that. That's a shirt right there. TK, please give me the info. If you so desire and have the will to, would you email me or message me or however you'd like to communicate with me? Would you please give me some info? I'm a research nut. Well, once I start reading, it's hard to stop, especially if I'm like interested, right? If what I'm reading is like interesting to me, it builds the excitement like as I'm reading. So it's like a runaway train. Please send me things to read. For those of you, well, just for everyone to know, I got a new email going that I can access, that I don't have trouble accessing, yada, yada, yada. Let me double check just to make sure I'm giving the right address, and I'll give it to you guys. tlbcalhoun@gmail.com. Is it Jeremy Fowler? I thought it was our other. Don't we have another Jeremy? I thought it was the other Jeremy that's our ABBA BG super fan. Because Jeremy Fowler is Jeremy Shelton. See, I can tell the difference between a Jeremy Fowler and a Jeremy Shelton. For a long time though, dude, I tell you what, there are so many names on the boat. It was really hard for me to tell you all apart for a long time. I'm now feeling like I know who you are. I am now feeling like that we're actually friends and that like I'm invested in our relationships. I will be messaging boaters pretty friggin' regularly, which I never thought would be the case. It's definitely a hard thing for me to do to like, but I definitely again I feel like I'm becoming more part of this family, which is a weird thing to say. Like I didn't feel a part of this family or something at one point. That's not necessarily what I'm trying to say, but um, yeah, we're evolving, we're learning, we're growing together. It's pretty cool, pretty neat thing. May 25th, Philly, and I'm super stoked for Jelly Roll. I tell you what, I live for a good live concert, and I'm really really looking forward to Whitechapel in April. Although if Mastodon comes back, I've seen them about 4 times. I would see them again in a heartbeat. Or Coheed and Cambria. I saw them once with Mastodon. I would definitely see them again, 100%. And this time I'm buying the comic book. It is great to have a community like this. I don't know what I would do without you guys, to be honest. And for a long time there, most of my life, in fact, I didn't know that I needed something like this, or that I could have something like this, or that I could do something like this. Pretty stoked about the way life's turned out. I tell you what. There he is, Jeremy Shelton. Somebody, you say Jeremy Shelton's name 3 times, and he appears. The apocalypse will happen one day, and the cause of it will be due to all of you evil people listening to ABBA and the Bee Gees. Pure evil. It's good to see you, Jeremy. Welcome aboard, man. You were probably lurking there the whole time, huh? Just waiting for me to summon you. Regardless, it's really good to see you, man. Hope your Sunday's treating you very well. Yeah, no sweat, TK. You take your time. I'm not in a hurry at all. It's very intriguing stuff. Anita, hello, hello, Johnny. What's going on, friends? Got our training on The Walking Dead. We are ready for the apocalypse. Let's go. I want to buy a zombie truck. When I say a zombie truck, I mean like a giant military cargo truck with like just a way too big vehicle to drive around during the apocalypse. Because no one's going to stop you when you're driving something that big. Although the amount of gas it takes to run it probably is unaffordable. I wonder. Thoughts that live rent free in my head. Nah, I just literally popped in, dude. Fantastic. We were just talking about you. We were just talking about how we've got a wide variety of people on the boat. Some people love the Bee Gees, some people love Caddyshack too. All are welcome. And then your name came up, and then you appeared, and it was amazing. Timing wise, was amazing. This is too much. You guys are too funny. Gamer Jackie Spanks, do you have the Surviving the Zombie Apocalypse hand guide? It was one of the first books I bought for my hubs. I do not. I feel like I've seen this in a bookstore before, though. I feel like I've laid eyes upon it before. Does it have wonderful tips? Does it have tips that may make or break my zombie apocalypse experience? Good to see you, gamer. Good to see you. We'll have to go check that out. I tell you what. I'm gonna have to check it out. Tell you what, Joe Mama. Hello, hello. Glad to be on the lifeboat. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. All right, y'all. We could do this all day, but a man's got to go make breakfast. Something inside me is doing backflips, and I'm going to try and stop it with some good old fashioned food. Just asking for a friend. That's correct. That's correct. Maybe I'll do some stretching today too. Some self care is definitely in order. That's my plan today, especially after the fish. I'm going to do everything that I can to just feel a little bit better, right? I'm going to eat some food. I'm going to do some stretching, maybe some hot tubbing, maybe a light workout, right? Not too much. I'm not going to go hard, but enough to get the blood pumping. And if I still feel like being active after that, I might get down on my hands and knees and scrub these floors again because they need it. They deserve it. Once again, they deserve it. I think the foot policy in my house. When I say the foot policy, like shoes on, shoes off, whether there's a rug here or not, I think that how I'm handling that is probably causing my floors to get dirty. So I either need to button that crap up or just submit to scrubbing my floors every other week because it that certainly seems to be the amount of time it takes them to get abysmal. It's about a week and a half. All right, guys. But that being said, please hit that like, subscribe, the bell for notifications. If you like what we do here, it certainly makes a big difference. I am live every morning. I do the morning shows here. And then about 3 to 4 days a week, I do painting as well midday. Right now, we're just buttoning up. In fact, I have some ideas I'd like to share with you about this painting, our current painting. Oh, that's the wrong camera. Hold on. Oh, this little guy here, I had an idea. I was like, the mouth looks terrible. A lot of things on here are just like kind of not meshing well. What if I came back and actually tried some multimedia? What if I came back and like with a black pen and kind of gave his lips an outline, right? Kind of gave the cigarette an outline, kind of gave all of him an outline, bumps on his head, like everything. Why don't I outline it all in black, right? And that might be something that we try. Also, the shading on his belly is not right. I looked at it with a critical eye and I like the painting, but it can't possibly be finished, right? Unless we're quitters, which I guess we are. Haha, funny joke. We're definitely quitters, but not in this respect. I think in this respect, we're gonna try and stretch our legs, right? See exactly what we can learn. Because I know nothing about painting, right? This is my like sixth painting or something that I've done to various degrees of completion. I'm gonna try and see what happens when we outline it, right? Does it look good? Does it not give the desired effect? Is there something we can do to the tracing around that makes it look better, right? I don't know. We're gonna find out though. Probably not today. I'm gonna just focus on some self love today, but tomorrow, 100%, we'll be back on that painting. And my dad will be on later today. This has been Captain Calhoun on the lifeboat. I appreciate every single one of you. Shout out to the mods, the crew, anybody new. Love you guys. Thanks for being here. You change my life every morning. And that's it. That's what I have. Twinkletown. Like a tattoo, bold outlines could work for sure. That's what I'm thinking, right? And I'm not necessarily a tattoo artist. I don't know a lot about art, but I had the idea. I was like, I bet you that his mouth would look like a mouth if you could tell where the boundaries of it were, you know? If you could tell where his mouth started and stopped, it might look like a mouth. Imagine that. So I'm going to go ahead and try that. Wish me luck, but also I'm not going to do it without you. We'll come back tomorrow and do so. You guys have a great day, all right? It's Sunday. Treat yourself nice today. You deserve it. We'll use this one. And this has been Captain Calhoun on the lifeboat. See you tomorrow.